I will say the interesting thing about it is it popped up and then it was taken off of the Orange County Register site, which is kind of
Mm.
so it popped up and it did say now it's still off there, but they said it was Project 680, which is kind of interesting. And then they did say it was for an actual attraction. It was masquerading for a future attraction known as Project 680, which is separate from the Ministry of Magic one we already knew about.
Gotcha.
So to me, now I've talked about before. I was told months ago that the next thing after Ministry of Magic was going to be Super Nintendo World. That could have changed because things change a lot. So I would not put that in stone. But I think you're looking at Super Nintendo World or Dark Universe. I don't think Isle of Berk's getting an expansion before any of those. So I think those are your two things you're looking at. I will just add, I believe internally, I think Vash, I think I'm right on this. The Zelda
Mhm.
project for like Project 675 at one point. 680 is not far off that, which does kind of to me point to maybe it's Nintendo related, maybe it's
Mhm.
Zelda related, but that's also just speculation. Who knows? But sometimes those project names and numbers can kind of give you a little bit of an idea sometimes.
Well, it's really interesting because I mean, Epic. It's kind of funny because they Comcast has been playing cat and mouse this entire time, right? Because I believe a Comcast executive said, "Oh yeah, we're expanding Epic and so forth," and they like backtracked it and all kinds of stuff. This is clearly a park that has a lot of demand, but not necessarily a lot of supply, and so they've definitely, felt the that demand, and they want to go ahead and meet it, right? So I remember hearing about maybe like a Creature from the Black Lagoon boat ride, and it was to me it made sense because it fit kind of a lot of parameters. Dark Universe being one of the smaller portals right there, right? You can expand that land out. You can provide a boat ride, really for real boat ride for this park. Which I don't know, it's Florida, it gets hot. That might be something that would attract a lot of people. But then you have Super Nintendo World, that is also small in its own right and has a lot of demand, especially connecting to these movies that keep coming out and so forth. So it's like, okay, can we go ahead and do something on that front? I had heard about maybe doing Zelda or maybe a Luigi's Mansion attraction. I think Zelda might be on hold. This comes from Theme Park Wizard actually, with this news, talking about how, one of the ride systems that they would have implemented for an attraction like that would have been the Dollywood Night Ride system. If you can see that, it's kind of like a coaster meets boat ride right there. And there was a lot of talk that that might actually be coming via Zelda. But unfortunately, that relationship with Mac might be put on hold, or it's not the best, right? It's not the most what is it?
Robust.
Right now, if you know the reference,
Classic.
because of Stardust Racers. And so it's like, okay, but the one we definitely know about is going to be that, and here you go. Here's the that's this was recently featured at IAPA,
Yep.
which is the amusement conference that in which they showcase various things. But this is, going to be what the most ambitious Dollywood attraction that they've ever done right here. Dark ride, it meets coaster, very, very cool stuff. And a lot of people were like, oh, that would make a great Zelda attraction. Unfortunately, we might not be getting that, at least right now. Look, things change all the time. But I'll tell you what there, Jared, that $24 million permit that we see for Harry Potter, that's like, what, 150,000 square feet?
Yep.
And so, like that's a big landmass, especially when you consider Villain's Land. If you combine all three of those show buildings for that land, they come up just above that number right there. So that's kind of the scale at which Universal is thinking right now when it comes to Epic Universe. Maybe we get all three. Maybe we get nothing. Who knows? But it changes. It changes a lot. To your point.
It does, and Zelda's changed a ton. There was at one point, I actually can't. There was I'll just say there was a group. They were asking questions. They were involving Zelda at one point, and those plans at that time had changed a lot from even whenever that thing had happened to their more recent plans. So if Zelda got put on hold again, it wouldn't shock me because I think it's been on hold like 3 or 4 different times. Because then you had like
Yes.
Poseidon's Fury, it shut down for
Just about
refurb,
to say.
reopened, and then like I don't know how long was that? Like a couple of months even, and then they shut it down, and all the speculation at the time was Zelda's coming because why else would you shut this down? And since then, it's been nothing.
I think there were some concepts actually revealed to that end, right? I believe Alicia Stella has talked about that a little bit, far less ambitious than maybe what they have planned now. But to your point, Zelda's been on the table, off the table multiple times. And look, I mean, when you look at Zelda, very popular, right? It makes a perfect immersive world. You can definitely translate that lickety split, no problem. But when you look at priorities for Universal, you have to look at maybe the existing parks. And when it comes to, in demand properties, as popular as Nintendo is, Pokemon is right up there, right? So that's
Okay.
why we're hearing Pokemon. It's one of the biggest brands in the world right now.
I think it is the number one media
I was
brand.
just about to say, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like it's
huge.
massive. And like I'm not a Pokemon person or an anime person, but I know how big it is. And they've even said that it's going to come to the domestic park. So they even really aren't being too coy about it. But what's interesting about Zelda is I know at one point they were worried about its appeal. Like Zelda is a very popular video game franchise, and I think those movies potentially could they do them well. Those movies will be huge. So I guess
Absolutely.
we'll see how those do. But they were worried about the mass appeal of it. Would it be enough to draw people in? Which to me, I was even, and I'm not the biggest Zelda person, but I was like, why would it not be? But apparently they had some reservations on that. I don't think you have that for Pokemon. So I
No.
think of Pokemon, if you're looking at those two, I can understand why if they're pushing Pokemon ahead, then you have the Ministry of Magic, which I was also what I'm hearing as well is like that's a broomstick style ride. I don't know if it's a coaster or whatever that apparently in that expansion, which 150,000 square feet is roughly like 3 acres, which is
Mhm.
huge for an expansion. So I think that land definitely needs it, and Epic Universe needs more stuff. And I'll be very curious to like you can make an argument for both Dark Universe and Super Nintendo World as
Of
to why
course.
they need expansions. Because if you've been to Super Nintendo World, that place every time you walk in there, it is just a sea of people,
Yeah.
and it not a lot of stairs, not a lot of space. So you can make an argument you do need to add something in there to just satisfy the demand, and especially off this movie. And I get the feeling from what the second movie, there's going to be even more movies, maybe leading to like a Super Smash Bros type movie or something. So those aren't going to go anywhere. So that's kind of interesting which way they may go there. But Pokemon, I believe they said I'm hearing that they're going to put construction walls up pretty soon in Lost Continent. And
Yeah.
I believe was it Mark Woodbury? Somebody spotted film crews and filming something in front of Poseidon's Fury like last week.
Oh.
I think I saw that on Twitter. I went to bookmark it and it refreshed on me, and I couldn't. You ever had that happen and you can't find it? I couldn't find it again, but I remember seeing it. But if they're filming stuff, like I think they're probably pretty soon in announcing a Pokemon thing coming, or at least starting that construction. So where
Hmm.
Epic falls in that, it's gonna be really interesting.
Well, do we know too? Like, 'cause I heard Mythos. I'd never been there. I heard it's incredible food, incredible atmosphere. Do we know anything about what's going to happen with that with Pokemon? Because that whole restaurant doesn't really fit the Pokemon thing.
It's I was told it's changing. I was
Yeah.
I I love Mythos. I've talked about so many. It's so good. It is one of the best in park or theme park restaurants I've ever been in. But I was told it is going to go through a change. But I was also told the kitchen staff and everybody running that is going to stay the same. So hopefully the food is just as good. But I imagine they're going to have like Pikachu burgers or who knows what they end up doing with it.
And initially, I had heard, "Oh no, it might be staying." I have heard as well, what Jared has heard. It is going and is going to be transformed right there. I don't know how heavily or to what extent, but you can imagine that. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily stick to the theme as you were saying right there. But hey, number one theme park restaurant, 10 years running. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Award winning too. I heard, right?
They have a sign. They do
They
have
have
a
a sign.
sign.
They have a banner.
I would see that sign, and it actually made me not want to go in there. I was like, "This is nonsense." And then I remember we tried it. It was like we went to Halloween Horror Nights and we had it beforehand. I was like, "This is amazing!" Like it was all good. Like the lamb burger, there was some dip. Like every single item we had was amazing, and it really isn't that expensive for like a sit down restaurant of that quality either. Now, when they announce that, how long that takes, because Universal doesn't like to tell you too much before they start stuff either.
Yeah.
But they do build pretty quick. So to me, I'm always thinking 2 to 3 year timelines with them when it comes to lands, especially.
Mhm.
So, if they start it now, could be something you see done by 2029, 2030, potentially.
You know, OG, in the time that it took for Epic Universe to go vertical and actually open, we still have that wall outside of Tomorrowland at
Yes, we do.
Disneyland, right? I mean, it is remarkable how fast Universal builds, but that's the thing. Like you said, Jared, they're not very big on revealing their cards too early, because it just goes back to when they opened Wizarding World East, right back in 2010, for Islands of Adventure. And people, they put off their vacations because of that, right? So now they're a little bit close to the vest, and then right there, boom, that way they don't have any drop in their attendance and or demand.
Yep. Well, and like I think when you look at even you got that mystery land clearing going on around Epic, nobody knows what it's for because Universal hasn't said. I kind of feel like in the future they're going to become even more coy because I think they're very aware now that people scour those permits, and I think that may be why they pulled that permit is because people were talking about it and they're like, actually, hold up, and like I don't think anything's changed on it. I just think they're going to get a lot more secretive about a lot of stuff they do, which I kind of appreciate. Like, I think it kind of is fun to speculate a little bit more, just like doing what we do. But they definitely like it's like the Fast and Furious. By the time they announce something, you're usually like a year away. Like even Epic, when they were building the Ministry of Magic, there was literally the portal with a hand holding a wand, and they had not confirmed officially it was Ministry of Magic. And you're like, what else is it gonna be? Like at the hand. The only thing we knew was Nintendo because of the whole agreement with Nintendo. But they just play stuff close to the chest. And I will just say from people that do tell you stuff, this stuff changes all the time. So anything that you are told, I'm just sort of like, well, we'll see. And even if like, we're talking about what I was told before, I think that's probably already changed. So
Yeah, and everybody, our Floridians who are not familiar with Disneyland, it's so funny. What Vash was talking about is actually there was a little section in front of our Tomorrowland where the mechanisms, I believe, for the Astral Orbiter sit, and they removed some rock work that used to hide that mechanism, right? So now what they did was they just put like a construction wall around it with some concept art, and that's been there since what, 2019, Bash ish.
It has been there since I believe late 2019. You can see it on your screen right there. This concept artwork,
I mean,
they actually had to change it because it had faded so badly. Even though everybody knew that there was going to be anything on the other side, now it started to fade again. So we are 7 years now out for this wall. By the way, this is near the hub. Okay, it's eyeline of the castle. All right, so like you can't miss this. It's not like it's some random corner. No, it's very, very prominent. And even Tony Baxter expressed his frustration with this because it's like, look, you got rid of the French fry rocks, good, mission accomplished, but you didn't have anything on the other end. And apparently, management and operations, they wanted to go ahead and get rid of this, but they didn't have approvals for the other half of this.
Mm. Well, maybe eventually within 10 years, maybe at the 20-year mark they'll get to it, or the decade mark, maybe. But maybe that's
still waiting for People Mover, so I don't even know if that's going to be
that is
enough.
A shame you guys lost your People Mover to that. What they call that thing, the coaster? What they end up calling that?
Oh, rocket rods.
Yeah, and they didn't think about the engineering of that, how that would go down with it.
Yeah, I only went on that maybe 2 or 3 times. Did you ever ride that, Vash? Rocket rods?
I did. I was very fortunate in having ridden it, like, I think it was 5 or 6 times, way more than a lot of other people had the privilege of riding that ride, because it was like 3 to 5 hour waits, and then you would get to the end of the line and it would actually close down. So that was that was no good right there. Very low capacity, and did tremendous. Just when they lost their sponsor after the test track situation, it really did that attraction in from day one.
How fast did that go when they made that, like, fast?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, Mario Andretti was there for the opening in order to showcase that speed. Let me go ahead and see right there if I have a top speed for you, because that's interesting.
The frustrating thing, though, about that attraction was that they used the old People Mover track, which was a slow attraction.
Right.
So they didn't have banked turns.
Right.
So every time we hit a turn, the thing would have to slow down.
Oh,
right. 35 miles an hour.
35. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
on an elevated platform like that, it's actually pretty good. But it was very unthemed, right? And when they lost their sponsorship, as OG pointed out, they couldn't actually bank those terms. And remember, this is 1998, so those computer systems just couldn't keep up with managing multiple ride vehicles on that track, those constant stops and starts. They went through a lot of different brakes and tires, so it was a maintenance nightmare. And when they took it down to maintain it and to increase its operations, they found that there was damage that couldn't be overcome with a quick fix. And that's when they ended. I think it only lasted one season. Well, fortunately, Stardust Racers I saw it was up to 7 or 8 trains, and about 1 minute dispatch times, which is very, very good. After coming back early from refurbishment, that's good. Also, to another security, metal detector in order to process people faster. So it looks like operations have been are in the process of being restored, and maybe even will ride better than it where it was. We'll say onboard audio has been a little hit and go, and I think that just reflects the ambition of this coaster as it is a Mack Rides coaster, right? I think this is certainly the biggest project that they had ever undertaken. They usually specialize in family attractions and coasters and so forth. So maybe bit off a little bit more than you could chew. But look, I'm very excited about the future of this park. It's just it's got a couple of growing pains now.
Yeah, which it's to be expected with a new park. And I was actually going to mention this too. The Summer Night Show is more, I think it's debuting as well this year because they did put on some job openings for fireworks technicians specifically for Epic Universe. And then they have trademarked that Celestial Goodnight trademark name. So I think that's coming as well. And they also put a bunch of utilities and paved over the peninsula back there for shooting off fireworks. So I think that's coming. So a lot of stuff's coming to Epic. Some of it we know more than others, and some of it is a little speculative. But I think within 5 or 7 years, you probably have a lot of these issues kind of relieved in terms of the wait times and things to do there. But I mean, it'll be exciting. I mean, it's kind of crazy that it's not even a year old yet, and we're already talking about like 2 new expansions.